Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This week we're going to continue on with our Wadroon Summer. I'm pretty excited for this because there's a lot of really cool things releasing. You've got the Tontor that's releasing, I believe, sometime in October. Giant Brontosaurus, pretty scary to have out on the battlefield. You also have all of the different Thunder Riders and the Thunder Chieftain. I'll be painting some of those a little bit later in the summer, and the Thunder Riders actually come with a pretty unique challenge to them. Today we're going to be painting the Predator. He's a pretty mean guy on the battlefield, and I think he looks fantastic in a nice purple skin tone. So I'm going to get really kind of down in there with the skin tone and focus a little heavily on how I do the skin tone for this model. I started out by doing a little bit of a slap chop method where I started with a dark gray, dry brushed that on there. It is a Vallejo neutral gray. Went in with a little bit of a lighter gray to start to pop out some of those topmost details. After doing the light gray, I went ahead and moved into a pure titanium white and did a dry brushing, really just focusing on the areas that are really going to pick up light. This really wasn't a beneficial thing for me to do. I didn't have to go through all these different steps. I built my own contrast paint using acrylic inks and a little bit of a matte medium. I found this recipe on Goobertown Hobbies and it works for what I was using it for, but I think there's other things that I could do that would speed up the process and possibly even look a little bit better. Once I got the contrast paint and everything on there, I actually moved into painting the browns of the model. He has a lot of leather on them. In fact, all of the Wadroon have quite a bit of leather. So I use a warm brown from Pro Acryl to give a little bit of a warm color to the leather. Once I finished the brown, I moved into using a refractive green from Vallejo on a couple different parts on this model just to put a base coat of green down. I'll go in with a lighter color green to really make those areas pop, but I didn't get this very well on camera. And so here you can see I've got the green put on the model, and then I'm starting into just putting a white color across the skulls and He's got a couple different places where there's skulls or there's bone of some sort. Really just getting a base coat all over the model while the skin tone dries. As you can see here, I painted some metallic onto the model and even tried to tint the metallic to give it more of a jade sort of tealy color. It didn't work out the way I wanted it to, so I scrapped that idea later on and actually end up painting him black again. So figured I would skip that part in the video because it's not really worth watching. I went ahead with purple from Vallejo. It has a little bit more red in the tint to it, and I like this a little bit better than I like the blue violet that I have. On the blooded and the slingers, I believe I used the blue violet, and I ended up going back over it with another layer of the purple just to bring warmth back into the skin tone. At the end, I actually mix a little bit of purple with the tan flesh. The tan flesh kind of brings out a little bit more of a lightness value to the skin tone and starts to kind of move it a little bit more towards a human skin tone. You don't really get the full effect with just doing a mixture of purple and the tan flesh, but we start bringing it back to that a little bit more normal value. Here you can notice I actually painted over the black, and I'm starting to go in and do a non-metallic metal. I'm not good at non-metallic metal. It's pretty evident in this piece here, but I have some videos and some PDFs that I actually came across recently that might change that. I started looking at a lot of higher skilled non-metallic metal, and I'm going to do a deeper dive probably on my own time and not on models that I've painted here yet, but I really want to dig into how do I make my non-metallic metal better. I started out with the same neutral gray, and the process actually is kind of the same as how I did the dry brushing for the slap chop method of sorts. I went on with the neutral gray. I mixed neutral gray with a little bit of titanium white, and just each time I tried to pick out areas that I thought would be a little bit more hit by light and highlighted smaller areas. I have noticed that the key to non-metallic metal is really contrast. The contrast between that really high white and the either black or really dark gray, that's what gives you the reading of this is a metallic object, even though it's not. Like I said, I really haven't figured this part out yet, but I think it looks pretty good on the model, and I might go through and repaint it once I learn a little bit more. The Wandrune army are not really known for using a lot of metal. Only a small faction of them actually use and can forge with metal. So a lot of them you don't find metal on their model, and it's more stone, leather, bone, stuff like that. After I did the non-metallic metal, I moved on to doing a brown wash across the skulls, just to give it a little bit more depth. So here's the finished model. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you're looking forward to the challenge that we're going to be providing with the community. If you want to, you can actually pre-order the Thunder Riders and have them the day that they release. I have a link down in the description below that also has a discount code, so you can get 10% off that order. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time.